Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book Understanding Media, The Extensions of Man. In the current information age, we all live with media and are increasingly aware of their power. From printing to the internet, from the telegraph to cell phones, media create an environment that alters the way humans exist and develop, as well as the way people learn about the world and how they perceive it. Different types of media impact people's perception, emotions, feelings, and values all the time. They entice us to play multiple roles and influence our behavior. Nowadays, we need to understand media, and this need increases ever more urgently. Understanding Media, The Extensions of Man by McLuhan transfers our attention from the content to the medium itself. The book claims that media like television, radio broadcast, and computers by and large influence our society, art, science, and the formation of religious beliefs. It puts forward the idea that the medium is the message and sketches a new idea of culture society. How should we acquire knowledge, collaborate and connect in the future? Understanding media is understanding the future. The book aroused controversy at the time of its release because of its far-sighted ideas. The editor of the book was stunned at the first reading of the draft and expressed his concern over its viability as 75% of the content was brand new. In the publishing industry, a best-selling book won't risk containing more than 10% of brand new knowledge. However, Understanding Media made it and broke the expectations of the publishing industry. The book is tough to read for people without any relevant background. For intellectual professionals, it is a new task and challenge to broaden their horizons. Marshall McLuhan was a distinguished media theorist and master of Western communication in the 20th century. His book Understanding Media stunned the West and the wider world, making McLuhan one of the foremost experts and most charismatic figures of communication studies. The New York Herald Tribune named him the most important thinker since Newton, Darwin, Freud, Einstein and Pavlov. Since the latter half of the 20th century, McLuhan's Understanding Media has been read, discussed, and studied across the world. Nonetheless, McLuhan was criticized for the pioneering perspectives in his book. Conservatives called him the Dr. Spock of pop culture and a metaphysical wizard possessed by a spatial sense of madness. Still, time proved him right. In the 1990s, globalization, informatization, networking, and digitization accelerated, and people came to realize that McLuhan had been correct. After that, the McLuhan craze climaxed. Full of awe, people continue to study his ideas. Next, we will narrate the book in 3 parts. We will find out how media influence our lives, promote social changes, and how we should respond to future changes and progress. Part 1, The Medium is the Message. Part 2, Media are Extensions of Humans. Part 3, Media Crises and Responses. Now, let's talk about the first part, The Medium is the Message. The medium is the message is the most common sentence and the core of the book. Speaking of media, we usually think of newspapers, radio, television and other media for communication. However, with a very deep understanding of media, McLuhan proposes that media are an extension of our body and brain as much as clothes are extensions of the skin, houses are extensions of thermoregulation, bikes and cars are extensions of legs and feet. McLuhan applies the broadest definition to the word medium, all externalizations and extensions of humans. We normally think of media as vehicles of information, knowledge, and contents, and as hollow, negative, and static. From McLuhan's perspective, however, media also have a strong influence on information, knowledge, and contents in turn, and this influence is positive, active, and impactful. People usually overlook and underestimate the connotations and impact of media. Then what caused such indifference and underestimation? McLuhan points at a serious problem of Western culture in the first sentence of the book, namely it had been long accustomed to splitting and dividing all things.